Well, Josh, Mark, I'd like to ask you both where this story develops from here. Let me ask you, first of all, Mark, if MPs want to get him stripped of his honour, what happens next? And do you think it's got legs? Do you think it's likely to be the kind of campaign that the Prime Minister might choose to identify herself with?
Well, I think it's down to the Honours Forfeiture Committee. That's their job. And, as I said before, Sir Jeremy Hayward is heading up that committee, and ultimately he's going to have to make that call.
But a pressure of steam can grow up, can it not? I remember with Fred Goodwin, although I absolutely take your point that it's the Honours Committee that take the ultimate decision, I remember that there was a political campaign and a press campaign, and that, of course, plays a significant role, does it not?
Yeah, and the evidence is clearly mounting up now. I think it's well over 30 actresses that have, gone on record as saying that have been affected in some way by Weinstein's actions. So, yeah, I think it will end up in him being stripped of his honour. And let's not forget that the honour system is about highlighting and rewarding extraordinary, ordinary people primarily. We always talk about the famous actors and pop stars and sports people, but they only make up a very small percentage. Well over 80% of gongs given out every year go to Mavis in Macclesfield and Bert in Bristol, who are working tirelessly for the community or for charity.
I know all three of them, and all of them deserve the awards, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It would be extraordinary, though, would it not, if we found ourselves in a position whereby Donald Trump, perhaps the most famous sexual predator in the world, a man who's bragged of groping women, arrives in the United Kingdom and travels down the mall in a carriage with the Queen at the same time as we're stripping Harvey Weinstein of his award. It would seem to speak of double standards here in the UK.
Well, any worthy person based anywhere in the world who meets the criteria can be nominated for a UK honour, whether it be an OBE or a knighthood. You don't have to be a British citizen, you don't have to live in the UK, so it's a global award.
Indeed, Ronald Reagan, I remember, got it. Josh, back to you for a second. It's too early to say, but I'll ask you the question anyway. Will the culture of Hollywood change because of this? Do you think this is the straw that will break the proverbial camel's back?
I think it will, because this scandal is so wide and big in magnitude that I think Hollywood has to change. There has to be a change. I mean, the fact that he's been stripped of his BAFTA title and stripped from Academy membership does really suggest that Hollywood is genuinely shocked by these allegations. So I think that people will be on the lookout for this in the future, 110%.
Okay, Josh Rom, showbiz journalist, and also Mark Llewellyn-Slade, founder of Awards Intelligence. Thank you both very much indeed. I think that story is going to run and run. Coming up after this short break, I'm going to be talking to Peter Tatchell.